Just like with music, actually, the indies will become a lot bigger, because that could actually be really, really cool in the future, you know. Having like a million little studios all doing their own little cool thing. Some even starting, you know, their own little series, and well, the end result will be that we will have lots more big studios, of course, which will then, you know, end up with a bit of a cycle, but, well... It is, yeah. But honestly, just for fun, if you actually look into, you know, out of the crap, I mean, sure, some things are just like, well, here, you have 2 maps made in RPG Maker, and there's a sexy pig. Now, this is not what we would call a game, usually, but... okay, you can't sell it as one, I suppose. Here the voice pokes their head. We found a man drifting on a piece of flotsam. That I can't try to talk to him, but he's speaking in a tongue none of us have ever heard before. Should we bring him on board? Sure. Let's talk to this guy. Ooh, I'm going to meet a new companion because I don't think otherwise the game would load. Yes, and, you know, loading into. Ah, but yeah, games. Honestly, games is the sort of thing you can talk about basically for hours on end and still find something that you probably have not discussed just yet. Quite interesting. You find a young man waiting for you on deck. He wears heavy clothing of a kind you've never seen. Colors of his tabard bold and bright. He stands, but barely. Sodden, sun-scorched and battered, he can hardly keep his feet. Stumbles forward a bit, then rights himself. He looks at you warily, bleary-eyed, exhaustion heavy on his shoulders. Are you alright? It's a dumb question, but... Labkumimaki is not the answer I was looking for. Because of the lost world, he buckled over and vomits a tremendous amount of seawater onto the deck. But just stop throwing up on my ship. Kinda need it. I do like how it is just standing there and smoking his pipe. He's like, yes, I don't even care about this.
Was I supposed to understand any of that? Either the words or the vomiting?
Hey, I understood the vomiting. That's okay, I suppose.
La Pilikiko? Lakaris? Kezilas Tahun?
He knits his eyebrows. His words are unfamiliar to you. They sound low and hard-edged, but his tone is soft with confusion. Let's try with you then. To equip?
She's Iki Hakus?
Okay, let's make it like if you're talking to a dumb person. Like inside, point to a shelf and slowly say your name.
Keketsegu Kisa Reka. Reka, ta?
I don't know ta, but the Reka I understand. So your name is Rek. No, your name is Reka apparently, according to the game. He's like, Reka. The game's like, no, Reka. Done. Gotcha, name's Reka.
Ta.
Yeah, lots of ta. Ta. Does he from the Polynesian people? I don't know their language, but he's like, ta. He sounds like an idiot. Bumps his fist a bit. Pleased to have finally managed to communicate with you. Relief brings a bright flush to his pale cheeks. It's like, yay, we exchanged names. Basically. Now he only needs to learn the words for... Honestly, when you learn a language or when you're in an unfamiliar country, learn just, you know, how to introduce yourself, how to ask where the toilet is, and how to order a beer. You're gonna have lots of fun. It's actually my approach to Spanish. What was it? Un cerveza grande. Oh, and frigo, because it's cold. That also helps, yeah. If you know sorry in most languages, that's actually going to get you somewhere. Because most people understand that you don't mean any harm by, you know, for example, not complying with what they're telling you. An helpful. He turns away then, casting his gaze over the rough sea. When your thinking is unclear, but you can guess by the vein pulsing, heart in his neck, the tight fists at his side, that he seems to be coming to a decision. Slaughter in there. Okay, you are an idiot. It's pretty damn clear that we don't understand each other. Now, the most easiest way to solve this is to speak in easy to understand concepts that you can, you know, communicate with your hands and feet with some, you know, while gesturing. Don't just fucking machine gun people. He grimaces, knowing that you can't understand him. Yeah, you are a fucking idiot.
Que la statia tajlo?
He repeats his last sentence, this time gesturing to the length of your ship, to you, to your crew, and lastly to himself. It would seem he wished to travel with you. See, that's easy enough. Sure, welcome aboard.
Ah, Yuki. Ketagi. Lashtasam.
Yes. Lashtasam to you too. Sounds like something to it. Actually, it sounds like something like, maybe with meat? Maybe I'm just hungry for some meat, but you know. Okay. He doesn't understand your words, he grasps well enough your meaning. Reka gives you a small smile, and quickly nod of his head in acknowledgement. Or perhaps in thanks. Ooh. Okay. Let me once again repeat my advice here. Technically speaking, the game actually allows for multi-class. And multi-classes are always superior choice. But I'm not much a fan of them, so I will keep them pure. There's no reason to do that. It's idiotic to do it. If you play this game yourself, don't fucking do it. It's dumb. You're just pointing in your mouse and waiting for food. That only really works if you meet nice people. You see, like, a really long time. Honestly, I would probably rather ask them for a drink, which is also very easy, because, you know, I've probably been throwing some seawater, and he just vomited a bit of it, so, you know, give the man something that is not salty. But, you know, just to piss him off, give him some really salty fish or something. But yeah, just a bit of advice, you know. In case you're looking at this and you're like, hey, I want to play this game, you come to this part and you're like, yes, single class because, you know, some idiot on the internet that I watched doing it did it. Don't do it. It's idiotic. I do it just because I like to do it. We have a fighter. Well, basically, let's talk a bit in game terms. We have a tank. We have an offhand tank. We have a priest. We have a, well, thief in quotation marks, and a mage. They give you some... can I have everything I want? And I have to choose between, you know, nobody I don't know from a hole in the wall, or a companion that has traveled with me through all of the first pillars of eternity. My what a hard choice. Also, he's also a man of the pipe, and I'm a man of the pipe too, so, you know, Today and me, we're best friends, basically. I wouldn't abandon him for, you know, some hole in ground, basically. Pretty obvious choice. Yeah, not much to think about. We might actually want to rest, though, because we're still wounded, aren't we? Nah, we're gonna rest before we enter, Nikitaka. We have a problem with that name. I don't know why, but Nikitaka apparently doesn't stay in my mind for some reason. I don't know.